What is up, everyone? What's going on? Good morning, good morning. I'm pretty excited about today's stream. We're going to talk about the ARPG. I grouped together all the roles, which by the way had to be translated into English because they're all out of Shanghai, China. It's a great sign. They're developing an ARPG, and we're going to go over, where's that article? What's a Vastaya? What the heck is a Vastaya? A lot of people get confused on Vastaya. Some people call Soraka a Vastaya. People call Minotaurs Vastaya. People call Chirians Vastaya from Arcane. Not everything's a Vastaya. It's an overused term. There are Vastaya in Runeterra. Not everything's a Vastaya. And then was itching. I was itching to play RuneScape yesterday after stream. I was like, I really kind of want to just... It's such a chill game. I don't really feel like any pressure while I'm playing it, which is really nice. I just kind of clip around, I'm doing my thing, even though I have no clue what the frick I'm doing. And I still haven't watched any videos on it. I haven't looked up, I haven't done any research, because I kind of enjoying that I'm just like playing the game how it's intended to be played without any background knowledge whatsoever. I didn't open up a stream, nothing. So I'm just going to keep playing RuneScape and hope I figure it out. Old school RuneScape. Although I'm surprised that everyone keeps saying old school and not the new one. I don't know what the problem is like with the new one. It seemed like everyone's a big fan of the old one. Let's get into it. Riot is developing a League of Legends ARPG. This is everything we know. It's their next big adventure. There is a Riot MMO. There's also an ARPG coming out. So what the heck is it? A recent activity from Riot Games suggested a new action RPG set in the beloved universe of Runeterra is actively in development. A wave of new job postings from an unannounced R&D project at Riot's Shanghai studio points towards a combat-heavy, cooperative experience that could be the long-awaited evolution of a concept condemned Project F. Project F is back, guys. I don't know if you were in the loop on Project F, what happened with it. It's been around for 5 years and never got any news on it other than like a 10th anniversary announcement, and then all of a sudden it pops up again. This new title aims to let players explore the rich world of Runeterra in a way they've never before. We like Runeterra. So the ghost of Project F. For those who have followed Riot's development projects closely, this news may spark memory from the League of Legends 10th anniversary celebration in 2019. During the broadcast, Riot offered a fleeting glimpse of a prototyped, codenamed Project F. You can see right here, Project F early development. The footage, though brief, showcased an isometric top-down game where players controlled familiar champions like Blitzcrank, Ezreal, and Lux. You see Lux over here on the right, there's Ezreal on the left, and there's Blitzcrank in the middle. Battling enemies in a cooperative PvE setting. It was clear nod to the ARPG genre, and while the project went quiet for years, the new job listing strongly suggests the core concept is alive and well, likely having evolved significantly since its initial reveal. And so I'm going to play this for you, because this shows the... this is what I'm talking about when I said that they showed Project F already in the 10th anniversary. So let's hope the 20th anniversary has the Riot MMO. And maybe the ARPG. That'd be a crazy... If the 20th anniversary has both of those, man. Oh, here. Let me get some sound on there.
Be like to run around and explore the world of Runeterra? How could we enable experiences for players to go explore with their friends?
I hope that in the same way when you see a Disney movie and then you go to Disneyland and getting to actually walk around and experience that we can give to players.
Yeah, you
that
can see a little bit more of it there. You can see them drawing something.
I hope that's the kind of experience that we can give to players.
Like
that feeling of actually seeing something and then going there in person and wandering around as though it were real.
There's some environment right there. It looks like she's working on some assets.
And build League of Legends, right? We started it, we seeded it, and then we built it with the community of players.
You can see they're working on
while,
Darius here.
We've always had to be so secretive. What I think League
That
of
was
Legends
for
players
2XKO.
expect from this game.
That's why everyone always says that they're surprised Caitlyn isn't in the game yet. Not Caitlyn. Why is her name escaping me? Why is her name escaping me? I'm losing it. What's her name? This is why everyone is surprised. Jinx we already got in 2XKO. Freaking Katarina. Katarina is not in the game yet. Katarina is probably going to come to 2XKO eventually. I think that 2XKO team probably heard the complaints of, can we get a freaking character other than a human, especially not one from Arcane? Katarina already showed up in a tie to Arcane in some of the Noxus cinematics. So I think that Katarina got pushed back and Blitzcrank got moved up. But I think she was supposed to be the next champion, not Blitzcrank. But they already were working on her.
Players expect from this game is different, but in some ways harmonious with what I think fighting game players expect from this game.
So we saw it to a
Everyone wants
scale, and then they go back to
years
it.
and decades.
Here we go.
Continues on for many, many years and
There's
decades
more of the
to come
ARPG.
as a company that players can count on to have their back.
We're really excited to see how people react, and you know, we believe that there's an incredible.
Yes, there's more footage of like them working on the environment.
Opportunity to sort of make some.
And then there's this wall of art. It looks like also from the ARPG, because this initial shot you could see that's the Blitzcrank Ash shot right there. A couple other shots of like what the art might look like for the game.
Come true in a bunch of new ways.
I think there's
and
one more.
We hope we can do that.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. Yeah. So that's all the footage we have of Project F. That's all we've ever seen of it. They showed a clip of Blitzcrank. They showed a clip of like 8 years ago, and then another one like 5 years ago. Then quiet since. Yeah, I know. You know there was a website. Look at this. Someone was talking to me on Reddit. Zodrat. Look at this. This was crazy to me. Was it Laura? Someone was messaging me on Reddit and talking to me about it. Party SR. They're like, yo, have you heard of the Project F? This guy used to work on some of the stuff. Maybe it might give you some ideas for the Riot MMO. Maybe it's like some concept art for it. Tony Tang. I went to this website and I looked at all these assets, and he had a bunch of Project F assets on this website, like a ton of them. And it looked really cool. I wish I could show them to you guys. I saw the Shuriman Rooftops one. And then now I go here and it requires a password. I wish I downloaded everything, but you know, if he wanted it, it's probably better that I didn't. But I really wish that I did, just so I could personally look at them. There's a gift, all of it's password blocked, and I was literally clicking on these links and looking through all this stuff. It was awesome. I was like, I tried to look it up for you guys again. I was like, oh, let me pull it into the video, and yeah, that's pretty telling that they didn't really like that up there, and they kind of want it to be in the game. Yeah, she's Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, it's gonna be using Unreal Engine 5. I'm about to, and when is it going to release? I'm going to talk about that at the end. I once tried learning Maya for 3D character model design, but then life got in the way and I stopped. Yeah, it's one of those things that you kind of have to keep. It's not like a bike. You forget it. I'm more use what do I use? Blender? Yeah, I've used Blender, but that's more to animate League of Legends models for my videos. I like rip the League of Legends models from the game, and then I'll pull them into the video. Although I will have like a models page up pretty soon on Riot Grove, where you'll be able to like interact and do stuff with the models for TFT, Valorant, and League of Legends. All right, the trail of clues, job listings decoded. The recent job postings from Riot Shanghai studio provided the most concrete evidence for this new ARPG. By examining the required skills and responsibilities, a clear picture emerges of a modern, combat-focused title built on Unreal Engine. The most telling listing is for the senior game designer in combat, and you can see these are all in you know, Chinese, so I did have to translate them. I think actually, well, this one shows up in English under here. Not all of them did. I literally was going like this the whole time. I was like, translate it, now translate to English, and hope for the best. Deep level of understanding, passion, and engagement with PvE action ARPG games. It literally says that. Further reinforcing this is a posting for a senior manager creative direction, which confirms the game's setting and technological foundation. You'll be involved in building a brand new game in the League of Legends universe from the ground up, introducing advanced tools such as Unreal Engine and AI digital creation tools. This was really interesting to me because I feel like AI can definitely be used to help build out environments really quickly. I don't think it's good at a lot of things. I think it's actually trash at a lot of things. But when it comes to like repetitive tasks and building out an environment, something like that, I think it's really good at it. It's just not creative, right? Like you have to be really creative in the environment initially, and you could tell it, hey, I built out this mountain range, expanded across, you know, the this many miles or something like that. That's what it's good at. It's not good at just creating the mountain range from scratch. The scale and potential platforms are hinted as the staff software engineer services role, which includes a particularly noteworthy desired qualification. Design, build, and deliver internet-scale backed services for a genre-defining game we will deliver globally to millions of players. So it's being built in Shanghai, China, but it will be available in America. Desired qualifications, experience with Unreal Engine again, experience with developing mobile games. So it will be on mobile as well. So it'll be ARPG, we know that. It's going to be global, and it's going to be mobile. It's built in Unreal Engine 5. They're using AI digital creation tools, I think probably to help build out the environment quicker. It's PvE action ARPG. That's clearly, I mean, that just screams Project F to me. Yeah, that screams Project F to me. That is what it is. And if it's not, they're reusing assets and it's the same concept. What to expect in gameplay and art. Based on the evidence, we can begin to form a picture of what this game might look like and play like. The core gameplay loop will likely follow ARPG conventions. Players will team up, defeat hordes of enemies, gather powerful loot, and customize their champion abilities. This is really the different part, is that you're playing a champion. In a lot of ARPGs, you kind of make your character and you build up their armor or gear or whatever. In some cases like presets, but you customize their look a little bit. But this one, you're actually playing one of the champions from... Oh, I wasn't on multi-stream. You're actually playing one of the champions from League of Legends. So there's a strong focus on combat design, suggests Riot is aiming in an experience that is more fluid and responsive than the MOBA's point-and-click mechanics, possibly drawing inspiration from modern action titles. So here's a screenshot I got of the art. You guys can check that out. Visually, the emphasis on a stylized aesthetic all but confirms the game will share the vibrant, painterly art style of League of Legends, Valorant, and Arcade. The mention of Unreal Engine, specifically UE5, in the technical artist role indicates Riot is leveraging powerful modern technologies to bring the signature look to a new level of fidelity. The reference to model development experience is perhaps the most signifying hint about the game's distribution. This points towards a cross-platform release for both PC and mobile devices, a model that has proven immensely successful for games like Genshin Impact and Diablo Immortal, allowing for a massively global player base. You guys remember that? I think everyone remembers that, right, guys? Hold on. There's no way you guys don't remember this. Diablo Immortal. You guys have phones, right? You guys all have phones, don't you?
In this, is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this just strictly mobile forever?
Are there any? The current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
Oh my gosh, the face zoom. Oh, this is painful.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Oh, geez, that. It actually hurt me again to watch it.
Do you guys not
This
have...
is BlizzCon. This is literally BlizzCon, by the way. This is like BlizzCon. These are all Blizzard Entertainment fans, like diehard fans that flew out for this. Okay, I can't watch it anymore. All right, I really can't. It's freaking painful. But yeah, it's going to be mobile and it's going to be on PC. And it's going to compete with the Genshin Impacts and Diablo Immortal. Hopefully a lot more tasteful. I'm going to be honest, like on mobile, Wild Rift is absolutely the best like MOBA style game that you can play. It's not pay to win. Yeah, the face zoom freaking hurt. My mood instantly goes down when I hear the words Genshin Impact. Maybe I need therapy. Okay, I'll stop saying GI. No, but see, that sounds gastrointestinal. That sounds probably worse. Then that will literally get your bowels moving. But what I was saying is Wild Rift, it's mobile, okay? And yeah, there's a lot of gacha in Wild Rift, okay? I'm not going to say there's not. Is it pay to win? Absolutely freaking not. Genshin Impact, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Como, I swear that slipped. That's not intentional. I'm not targeting you. Complete slip. This is a very gacha. It is. Is it pay to win? Absolutely not. This game will not be pay to win, and I think it'll be as successful as Wild Rift, which is a successful game, and I like Wild Rift. I'm actually a fan of Wild Rift. Let's get a different Vastaya up here. There we go. A new Vastaya. The arena, how will it stack up? When it arrives, Riot's ARPG will enter a fiercely competitive market dominated by established titans. Its success will depend on how it differentiates itself. Diablo 4, the genre's benchmark, Riot will likely compete by offering a more colorful, less grim-dark fantasy setting and potentially a more accessible live service model, leveraging the vast appeal of the Runeterra IP. I mean, Diablo, it is what it is. I think Diablo 4 does pretty well. Diablo Immortal was definitely just like a cash shop. Lost Ark, known for its flashy MMO-like features, a fast-paced combat, Riot's project could take cues from its dynamic action combat while simplifying its complex endgame system for a broader audience. And there's Path of Exile, which is the undisputed king of deep, complex character customization. This is my favorite one, is Path of Exile. Riot will probably aim for a more streamlined experience, but could surprise players with significant build diversity rooted in the established champion kits, because our champions already kind of have their kits, and you could build on that, right? Make talent trees and stuff like that. Because we saw Blitzcrank doing his down smash. That's going to be, I'm sure, the same abilities. Riot's biggest advantage is its universe, the ability to play as iconic champions and explore familiar locations like Demacia, Noxus, or the Freljord. This is clearly Ionia. You can see like a huge Azakana face there in the corner. I thought that was really cool. Azakana are like demons. Nah, bro, don't filter yourself for me. Speak your mind, Lamau. Yeah, I got you. Is a massive draw for the millions of players already invested in the world of League of Legends. That's the thing. There's already a huge player base invested in Runeterra. So that's like no-brainer. It should do well. The Azakana mask in this picture is freaking awesome. Look at that in the top left. The long road ahead, release date speculation. While the prospect of a Runeterra ARPG is exciting, it's important to set realistic expectations. Riot is currently hiring for foundational roles, and job descriptions refer to an early stage project in an ambiguous stage. This confirms the game is still far from the finish line. AAA game development is a marathon, not a sprint, often taking 5 to 7 years from start to finish. A realistic release window would likely fall somewhere between late 2027 and 2029. This timeline allows the team to build, polish, and deliver the game that meets the high expectations of the community. I think it's going to line up really well with the Riot MMO, but it can't line up perfectly. Like you're not going to want to release them at the exact same time. You're going to want to stagger it, because fans of World of Warcraft tend to like Diablo. Fans of I don't know why it attracts the same audience. ARPG, they're both RPGs, right? MMORPG, ARPG. They attract the same crowd. And so you'll want to stagger them so you don't overdo it with the player base. You want to have the option for them. Like they can play the ARPG here, even like expand release dates. You kind of want to stagger the release dates of the patches and stuff so people can play both. But they do go well together. So I think you'd want to release one of them in 1 year, one of them the other year. So I hope that the Riot MMO is going to come out in 2029. I think that's my anticipated date. So I think this will probably come out in like 2027, 2028, that timeline. But they'll both be announced in the 20th anniversary, which is Riot's 20th anniversary is coming up. Riot's 20th anniversary is coming up September 2026, which would serve as the perfect stage for the major reveal. It would be an incredible moment for the company to formally announce this ARPG, perhaps finally giving Project F its official name, and maybe even offer a first glimpse of their other highly anticipated title, the Runeterra MMO. The future of the League of Legends universe is looking brighter than ever, and this ARPG is a huge part of it. Bro, Path of Exile 2 currency system and sound design makes the game feel so alive. SUHC as a high dopamine game. Yeah, I think Path of Exile is great. If you're going to take pointers from any of these titles, I would take pointers from Path of Exile. I think Path of Exile is the king of ARPG right now. It was Diablo for sure. Diablo 3 was amazing. Yeah, every king has his time, I guess. I was really actually excited for Diablo 4. The Diablo 4 trailer, I really got excited for the Druid. Man, and Diablo cinematics are always amazing. Always amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's the official cinematic, which is amazing, but then there's like this. Yeah. I remember looking at this Druid. I'm very partial to the Druids, guys. This reminds me of The Witcher.
The dream continues to haunt me, old friend. It always starts with a journey to a distant land There I find a city in flames.
There's the druid.
Streets choked with corpses. Unthinkable destruction.
Look how good the
I
game was,
witness
man. I was so
senseless
hyped.
slaughter. Brother against brother. Pure hatred. And then, executions. Agony. Suffering surrounded me until my turn comes. They burn my eyes. Break.
Yeah. Imagine this, but like League of Legends style. Like Runeterra style ARPG. Give me a freaking Udyr, bro. Yeah, imagine your Udyr right here. Going off. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I'm really excited for it. The ARPG, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good. It'll be good, guys. I'm excited. Where is we need a Vastayan Glade. Because I need to explain Vastaya. Because I'm hearing too many people call Scar from Arcane and Minotaur's Vastaya. They're not Vastaya. These ain't Vastaya, guys. Where's the Vastayan Glade Legend of Runeterra board sound? There we go. Okay. What is it? What the heck is a Vastaya? Let's switch this to Runeterra lore, because now we're on the lore section of the stream. Vastaya, the first playable race in the Runeterra MMO, a full lore breakdown. Children of wild magic, a definitive chronicle of the Vastaya. The dawn of chimeras, a mythic origin. To understand the Vastaya, one must understand their origin in a Runeterra where the veil between the physical and spirit realm was thin. In the primordial era, the lands, now known as Ionia, were called the First Lands, a continent saturated with raw and untamed spiritual magic. So keep in mind there's like two realms in Runeterra. This is the material realm, what we see. This is what we're going to be exploring in the Riot MMO. There's a whole separate realm known as the spirit realm, a separate place. It kind of mirrors the material realm. That's where demons come from. That's where Yordles come from. That's where pretty much all the magic in Runeterra comes from, the spirit realm. Anything that you see that's magical in, I'm gonna close that so I don't get confused. Anything that you see that's magical in Runeterra, that all has to do with the spirit realm. So there's the material realm. The wild magic was the lifeblood of the world, flowing in metaphysical rivers that shaped reality itself. And this is Ionia up here on the right. That's Ionia. So this is what we're talking about. It was the First Lands. And at this time, the spirit realm and the material realm were very thin. The veil was very thin between them. And the thinning of the veil allows more magic from the spirit realm to pass into the material realm. The First Lands and the Titan War. The balance of the First Lands was shattered by a cataclysmic invasion from the skies. A race of titans waged a devastating war against mortals, threatening to sunder the world. Guys, we're talking about a long, long time ago. None of these nations existed. There was no Freljord. There was no Piltover and Zon, Bilgewater, Shadow Isles. This whole world, everything was really concentrated in Ionia. That's why it's called the First Lands, because that's where everyone kind of originated from. Everyone kind of moved out from Ionia to the other places. The only one that may not have been like that is the Freljord. There may have been people in the Freljord very close to around the time of the First Lands. So at that time, there was the Titan War, which is an invasion by a race of freaking sky giants. These things. You could see remnants of them in Ionia. Look how massive this guy is. An ancient and respected history. It is certain Ionia had a much longer and richer history than any living soul could claim to know. Indeed, in the more remote mountain passes, the landscape is still littered with evidence of great wars from ages past. But instead of clearing the ruins, the Ionians choose to respect what remains, even if they no longer fully understand what it represents. You can see how massive these swords are. These are probably wielded by someone battling against these titans over here. The mortals, though valiant, found themselves outmatched. This conflict became the crucible in which a new race would be forged, the birth of the Vastaya Shirei. Faced with annihilation, a group of enlightened mortals tuned to the potent magic of the spirit realm drew in the power of the spirit realm into themselves, into the physical forms, and a profound and irreversible fusion. These mortals were born as the Vastaya Shirei, deathless, powerful shapeshifters who could command the natural world as an extension of their will. They were mortals who had achieved ascension through a perfect synthesis with spiritual magic. This is the only real image we have of the spirit realm. We have some videos where you can see like Yordles and the Bandlewoods and stuff like that. But in terms of images, this is the best image of the spirit realm that we have. And that's the golden tree of peace over here on the right, that yellow thing, that yellow tree. To the left of that, you can see kind of like a demonic looking thing. That's the demon realm. I have theories about the others, but yeah, that's the spirit realm. And the Vastaya Shirei pulled the power of the spirit realm into themselves to battle these freaking behemoths, the Titans. And this is all again taking place in Ionia. So wielding their new abilities, the Vastaya Shirei defeated the Titans, saving the world and being hailed as heroes. But that led to, after that, what I call the Great Dilution, from progenitors to people. After the war, the Vastaya Shirei chose to live among their mortal kin as equals rather than setting themselves apart as rulers. Over time, these magically ascended beings interbred with the human population. The offspring of these unions were a new chimeric people who were neither fully mortal nor truly immortal. They became known as Vastaya. So on this page you can see Vastaya Shirei over here. They mated with mortals such as humans, became Vastaya, then they kind of branch off into these tribes over here. And you can see a bunch of different tribes, including Ari on the left, who's a pretty popular character. And there's the Railu, the Mirai, the Makara. And it's interesting that the farther you get from the main Vastaya Shirei human combination, the more diluted the bloodline gets. And you could see that in the way they look. Like the Mirai you'll see later, they're freaking merfolk. They really look like merfolk. Compared to Ari, who's kind of getting distant, right? Over here, she looks a little bit more human. So the more they dilute that bloodline, the more human they look. You can see Ari here. And I don't think Nami is in, that's Ari. And I don't think Nami is in here. Is she? Oh, she is. Yeah, compare that to Nami. Nami is much closer. Nami would be down here, the Mirai, tribes of the sea. Look how close that is to the split, humans Vastaya Shirei. And that's probably because they just interact less with mortals. There's less chances to mate. And so you have a character like Nami who looks very much, probably closer to what they used to be. And she probably lives a much longer life than someone like Ari would, who the bloodline's been diluted a lot more, right? With Ari, she's farther in. She's had more generations of humans mixing with Vastaya Shirei, and that's why she has a more human look to her. The intermingling diluted the Vastaya Shirei immense power. The Vastaya inherited a fraction of their ancestors' shapeshifting prowess and longevity, but they were no longer the deathless warriors of the Titan War. They did, however, retain an innate connection to the spiritual magic of Runeterra, a bond that remains the core of their identity. This origin contains a tragic paradox at the heart of the modern Vastayan condition. The race was born from a harmonious union between magically ascended humans, the Vastaya Shirei, and the mortals they lived alongside. Yet a significant conflict for contemporary Vastaya, exemplified by revolutionaries like Xayah, is a deep-seated animosity towards humans for disrupting the wild magic the Vastaya need to survive. So naturally, the Vastaya, they become weaker as you kind of destroy their forests and whatnot. And so there are these characters, Xayah and Rakan. They kind of rise up to battle and fight for the Vastaya place in Runeterra. You got to realize this with the Vastaya. They're becoming weaker over time. And so they're really fighting for their home in a way. And you'll see more of that in future stories as well, but this is one of them, Xayah and Rakan. So this struggle is not a simple race war. Since the Vastaya Shirei were human first and chose to create the Vastaya through unions with humans, humanity is a foundational component of the Vastayan lineage. Therefore, the actions of the Vastaya separatists are in essence a war against a part of their own heritage. Their fight to preserve the magic their human ancestors taught them to wield against the descendants of the people their Vastaya Shirei ancestors embraced frames their struggle as an internal identity crisis. This is a great image. You can see a couple of Vastaya up here on this tree. You can see some humans marching below. The human problem is inexorably a Vastayan problem, a desperate attempt to define who they are in a world that has forgotten their shared history. And the world has really forgotten a lot about the Vastaya. After all, we don't even know the Titan War. Ionia itself doesn't do a great job documenting its history. Places like Piltover and Zon, right, have their history documented. Noxus created a whole timeline of Runeterra. The Freljord, they have like these huge halls of tablets where they document history. Demasia's probably got a library. Bilgewater, probably not the best for documenting history, but Ishtal for sure's got like a library. Shurima has a library that we know of that Nasus guards. I'm sure Targon has some history. Ionia is probably one of the worst places for documenting history. They don't freaking write down anything. Part of the reason we don't know anything about the Titan War is because no one documented this stuff. And that could be just because it's a long time ago, but even today, Ionians just, their stories are told. There are tribes in the Freljord who tell through word of mouth, but Ionia, everything's through the word of mouth. The living tapestry, a Vastayan family tree. As the threat of the Titans faded, the power of the individual Vastaya Shirei waned, and their descendants, the Vastaya, spread out from Ionia, forming distinct tribes and cultures across Runeterra. This diaspora led to incredible diversity seen in the Vastayan people today. So you can see there's Vastaya all over Runeterra. This one's in Targon in the second to last on the right. That's a Mirai on the right side. Different Vastaya all over Runeterra. The founding of the tribes. The legacy of the Titan War heroes was not forgotten. So this is a card from Legends of Runeterra. It's Mistfall, and you can see remnants of the Titan War again here. See that big face in the background? That's remnants of the Titan War, and all the swords again. So anywhere you see these Titans, they're fallen on the ground, they're dead, but there's all these massive swords around them, most likely weapons of the Vastaya Shirei. And Mistfall is sacred ground. This is what the card reads. The swords at the site have been here for centuries, and it is my belief that any blade left here with a poem on its hilt will invite the spirits of lost wielders to imbue it with their blessing. And that's from Disciple of Doran, and it's a handwritten scroll. Many new tribes adopted the names of the legendary Vastaya Shirei who had saved the world, creating a direct link of culture and spiritual inheritance. The tales of noble Kila, dutiful Cheer, cunning Lohtel, and countless more besides became the founding myths for entire peoples. So those are actually tribes, right? They kind of took on the name Railu, Makara. There most likely was a Vastaya Shirei called Mirai. There was most likely a Vastaya called Kalash, right? These were all Vastayan tribes, Chaira. They kind of took on the name of that person as their name of their tribe. Many new tribes adopted the names. Over thousands of years, each tribe adapted to its environment, and their physical forms evolved to reflect their surroundings and the animalistic traits of their ancestors. This, combined with their reliance on wild magic, led the Vastaya to settle only in regions where the connections to the spirit realm remained strong. The greatest source of knowledge around Vastaya is contained in Edward Sentagilos. I can't say it. Edward Sentagilos' Vastaya Field Journal. And this is his journal. We actually have an image of it. And this is what it says. Chimerans with human blood, spiritual magic from an ancient race. In my humble inquiries, I have stumbled upon far greater questions. This shall make for quite the chronicle, a bestseller in fact. Edward Santagilo, gentleman of Piltover, explorer of Ionia, who discovered the wondrous Vastaya in the wilds of Ionia. I can already hear them clamoring for the first edition. The three peoples, a broad classification. Vastayan tribes can be broadly categorized into three main classifications based on their physiology and habitat. Tribes of the land, the sea, and the sky. You can see here, we have tribes of the sea on the right. Then you have tribes of the land, landwalker tribes, and then in the back, tribes of the sky, and those branch off at the top. The sea dwellers, tribes like the Mirai, are amphibious or aquatic, with mermaic features like tails and fins. There's one example, that's Nami. Sky Dwellers defined by avian characteristics such as the Chira tribe. There's actually, I can't even get you guys an image. There's no champions of the Sky Dwellers. There's no image of the Sky Dwellers. I think that it's going to have to take like the Riot MMO for us to finally see these Sky Dwellers in the game. Because they're not in League of Legends. And there's none in Legends of Runeterra. There's the Landwalkers, which is the largest and most varied classification, encompassing chimeric forms based on, felineness, Kalash, and Vasani. So there's Ari. There's also the Primate, the Shamon, which are also Landwalker tribes. And there's the Avian Luchtlan, which are also considered Landwalker tribes. But they do have an avian look to them with the feathers and whatnot, but they are Landwalkers. And the Reptiles, another Landwalker tribe, the Uvikat. The following table provides an overview of the most well-documented Vastayan tribes. So I listed them all here. See some Sea Dwellers. You can see Landwalkers, just how many there are, and then just the one Sky Dweller. Vastaya is not a monolithic term. It describes a spectrum of beings whose connection to their progenitors varies significantly, creating a gradient of magical purity and power. The Ovikat tribe, for instance, remained isolated and mingled far less with humans. As a result, their bloodline is almost completely undiluted, closer to the original Vastaya Shire. This purity manifests in phenomenal magical abilities. So you can see she looks way more Vastaya, way more like animalistic. The more animalistic a creature looks, compare that to Ari, whose bloodline is actually quite diluted. Even Ari almost diluted her bloodline further in her story. I think I remember Necrit saying, Nami power level in the lore is insanely high, as she is the closest to Vastaya original race. She could be. I don't know if she's the closest to Vastayan's original race, but because she definitely does have some human features to her, but she can shapeshift, which shows a lot. Is she the most powerful Vastaya? Is she in Wild Rift? I don't know. Oh wait, Nami. You're saying Nami. Nami is the most powerful Vastaya. Maybe. Maybe. I would say maybe. Nami definitely seems very powerful. She can't shapeshift, but I was thinking about Nico. Is Nico in here? I thought you were talking about her. I was like, I don't know if Nico is the most powerful Vastaya. Who would be the most powerful Vastaya? Yeah, Nico's not in here. If I had to pick one to be the most powerful, I would say Nami is very likely the most powerful Vastaya. Nico, the last Ovikat, possesses exceedingly potent shapeshifting powers. Nico would be another one that would be up there in terms of power level, allowing her to mimic almost any living creature with perfection other Vastaya cannot achieve. So Nico definitely could be one of the most powerful Vastaya as well. In contrast, most other Vastayan tribes have more fixed chimeric forms. Rengar is always feline. Nami is always mermatic. Their shapeshifting is a distinct echo of their ancestors' abilities. At the furthest end of the spectrum are individuals with only a trace amount of Vastayan blood, like Nidali, who possesses some shapeshifting ability, but are not considered true Vastaya. So like eventually it gets so diluted that you almost look human with a little bit of magic in you. The genetic gradient suggests the potential social hierarchy with the Vastayan culture, where tribes like the Ovikat might have be revered for the purity, adding another layer of complexity to their struggle for identity. Icons of people, Vastayan champions in focus. The stories of Vastayan champions illustrate the culture, struggle, and existential questions facing their race. The Luchtlan rebels Zaya and Rakan. The tale of Zaya and Rakan is the quintessential narrative of the modern Vastayan conflict. As members of the Luchtlan tribe, they wage a revolutionary war to reclaim their ancestral homelands in Ionia from humans. So that's their whole goal, is they feel like they need to reclaim their homelands in a way of Ionia, from the people of Ionia, from the humans at least. Their struggle is born from an existential threat. Human settlements and technology disrupt the natural flow of wild magic. For Vastaya, who require this magic to thrive and reproduce, and I'm going to get into this, this is really important. Vastaya require the magic of the natural flow and the wild magic of the world to thrive and reproduce. This disruption is a slow poison, causing their vitality to fade. Literally, they'll go extinct. Nami kind of bad, not gonna lie. Would? Jeez, man. That's a freaking mermaid. I guess, I mean, Ariel I always thought was pretty bad as a kid. We see how desperate the Vastaya are to reclaim their homelands in the book Mbessa Chosen of the Wolf. If you ever read Mbessa Chosen of the Wolf, we see literally how desperate the Vastaya are to reclaim their homeland, the natural flow, the wild magic, because they'll literally freaking go extinct if we do it. And humans naturally very averse to magic. Well, not averse to magic, but averse to freaking nature. I'll say that. After Mbessa captures the Ionian fortress of Kumungra, that is right here. Mbessa, this is before the events of Arcane. Mbessa goes and captures the fortress of Kumungra. Kumungra was being run by a group of Ionians. They left Ionia a long time ago. We're talking about generations. And they held the fortress of Kumungra, and they did trade with Piltover and Zon. Mbessa goes down here. Why couldn't I hear that? There we go. Mbessa travels from Noxus to Kumungra to take this place for Noxus, because Noxus is tired of paying Piltover and Zon a tilth or whatever for trade. Basically, Noxus, let's say they want to trade with Shurima, or they want to trade with Targon, or even if they want to trade with Ishtal. The Noxus has to come down here, not really Ishtal. By boat, Noxus has to come down here, circle around, go through Piltover and Zon, and then they can come out here to Targon and Shurima. They could also, you could say, maybe take it by land and then cross by sea. That's a lot more work. Traveling by sea is way faster. And so Noxus wants to take Kumungra for itself so they can have a port down here. But after Mbessa captures the Ionian fortress in Kumungra, she finds a group of Vastayan prisoners. The prisoner explains that the human inhabitants of Ionia are improperly using magic and defiling the natural forests with their intervention. This destruction directly weakens the Vastaya. In exchange for Noxian help in driving the human Ionians out of the Kumungra forest, the Vastaya offers Mbessa a strategic ocean entry point into Ionia. That's literally how the first Noxian Ionian invasion happens, is because the Vastaya down here in Kumungra are so pissed that the humans, the Ionians, have destroyed the forest so much that it's now affecting their vitality and their life, and they're becoming weaker, that they help Noxus find a way into Ionia. Noxus has historically struggled to get into Ionia, and this is during the time of Borum Darkwill. But then, okay, now they find a way through the Vastaya from Kumungra. Another example we see is Zaya and Rakan. These two characters I've been talking to you guys about. Zaya, the Violent Raven, is the heart of the rebellion, a freedom fighter driven by loss. She watched as treaties with the mortals were consistently broken, driving the Lotlan from their homes. Her crusade began when she returned to find her entire tribe had vanished, a disappearance linked to shadow magic corrupting a nearby temple. Rakan the Charmer is the greatest battle dancer in Lotlan history. He found a deeper purpose after meeting Zaya, and his charismatic fighting style complements her lethal precision. Together they represent a desperate struggle for cultural preservation. Literally, somehow, her whole tribe disappeared from shadow magic, and who do we know that does a lot of shadow magic in Ionia? Only one guy. There's only one guy we know who messes with shadow magic in Ionia, and that's... where's he at? Zed. Zed, who has his own story going on. But we can see something here, which is Zaya and Rakan. And literally titled, by the way, Wild Magic. There's Zed. A couple of his followers. Zaya hits him with a feather. Rakan comes. Don't forget he's like a dancer. I always thought this was an awesome cinematic. Does Kane count as shadow magic? Well, yeah, but he learned it from Zed. Zed's the progenitor of all this shadow magic stuff in Ionia. Very interesting. Man, it's such an awesome cinematic. I can't tell if I'm watching a premiere for you guys. Isn't the lore so much better when you know it, guys? Isn't like every cinematic feel a little bit better when you actually know the history behind it? The fact that Zaya's tribe was wiped out by shadow magic. This guy with his history was just like a dancer, but then, you know, he joined Zaya, found like a calling. They're trying to find their place and preserve their homeland. Literally has to do with their vitality. Look how like the whole forest is restored after they stop him. Zed's up to no good. That's how the force, like we're talking about Avatar level stuff, guys. I just feel like the lore is, everything becomes so much better once you know the lore. Even if you don't care about the lore at all, like you really could care less, a Riot MMO will be better and you'll enjoy it more if you know the lore. If you're aware, like that cinematic, to someone who knows nothing of the lore, they're like, wow, that was a cool fight. They're just showing Zaya and Rakan go against Zed. Like, it's just something cool to see. But then when you know it, it's like, oh, there's so much history and backstory here and like why they're there fighting Zed and why the forest is being restored. It makes so much more sense. I need me a ninja from Ionia that can stealth for my PvP character. And yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. I think you're going to get a stealthy character everywhere. You're talking about like a rogue style character. I feel like Ionia is a hot spot for that. So you'll get one. I never noticed this the first time watching, but Zaya uses her E there when breaking the ceiling. Pretty cool attention to detail. Yeah, Riot always does that. They're always using like the character abilities and showing you them, but in how they actually use them, not just in game, you know, with a button, like how it actually plays out. But yeah, I think it's a great cinematic and it ties so much into the lore in such like a short one. The Kalash Pride Stalker Rengar. In the jungles of Shurima and Ishtal resides Rengar, a fearsome trophy hunter of the Kalash tribe. That's we're talking about over here. Now we're in Shurima and Ishtal, this kind of area. He kind of bounces between them. The Kalash built their society upon the honor of the hunt. Rengar's story is one of triumph over perceived weakness. I think Rengar is in here. I remember I pulled him up, yeah. Oh, Rengar. This is also a Vastaya. The Kalash built society upon the honor of the hunt. Rengar's story is one of triumph over perceived weakness. Born the runt of the chieftain's litter, he was ignored and expected to perish. Instead, he fled and taught himself to hunt, pushing his will to its limits. He returned as a master predator, eventually slaying his own father to become the new chieftain. Yet Rengar found tribal acceptance meant little. The true prize was the thrill of the pursuit. He abandoned his title and now scours the world for the most dangerous prey. His ultimate goal being the void creature Kha'Zix, the beast that took his eye. Rengar's journey showcases a culture where strength and self-reliance are the ultimate virtues. And you can see a little bit of Rengar in this cinematic. Look at this. It's one thing, she's like literally hunting. It's like the hunter becomes the hunted here. Look at that, you got Graves down here. Katarina's clearly hunting graves, and it zooms out again. Oh, Rengar's hunting the hunter. I thought that was really cool. This isn't so much lore based as it is was just cool cinematic. Yeah. There's Ari, a pretty cool shot of Ari as well. But yeah, there's a cool cinematic. You can see Rengar in it. That doesn't really have anything to do with the lore or anything like that. It's just cool to see. Cool to see him in there. We'll leave it right there like that. The Shimon Monkey King, Wukong. Wukong, a Vastayan trickster from the primates like Shimon tribe, offers a path of integrity and self-improvement. The Shimon believe life is an evolutionary climb to wisdom, and the impulsive Wukong was cast out for his pranks. He was eventually humbled by the human warrior Master Yi, the last practitioner of the martial art of Wuzhu. Master Yi, I'm pretty sure, is like the most powerful human in Runeterra. Wukong begged to become his student, and through Yi's teachings, he learned to channel his recklessness into a lethally swift fighting style. Wukong's partnership with a human mentor stands in opposition to Xayah's separatist ideology. His story demonstrates that strength can be found by embracing new disciplines and forming bonds with those outside their own kind. So, a completely different take. The Shimon Monkey King Wukong is like kind of working with the humans in a lot of ways, partnering with the good ones. Then there's Nami. Nami's quest is one of desperate diplomacy, driven by a cosmic threat. So actually, I show it here. Her people, the Mirai, are the mermatic tribe of sea-dwelling Vastaya living west of Mount Targon. The Mirai's existence is threatened by a rift in the ocean, a gateway from which the life-exterminating darkness of the void seeks to emerge. Here's what you have to remember about the Mirai territory, which I'm sure an expansion, whenever we have the Mount Targon expansion, which I don't think it's going to come at launch, we're definitely going to get a like Mirai territory, either patch or expansion post. Such a nice streaming that is, man. Vastaya can stealth too, Rengar, Nico, Wukong, yep. Such a nice streaming that is, man. Really like it. Yo, thanks. Just drop you a follow, have a look. Is this your first playthrough, by the way, man? I'm going to play after this, so I'm almost done with this video, and then we'll play Old School RuneScape, which it is my first playthrough of Old School RuneScape. I've never played before in my life. So when Mount Targon, the expansion eventually comes out, we're definitely going to have either a patch or a whole expansion on the Mirai territory. And the reason you're having this Void stuff happen in the Mirai territory is that the Void is definitely spreading through the ocean along with on land. And it has to do with the story of Acathia. I have multiple videos on Acathia and the Void War and how that all happened. But this place is Void infested. And you better believe the Void is spreading through the ocean as well on land. And you have the Lavender Sea, which is all underground in Shurima. But it's also affecting over here the Vastaya and the Mirai territory. Canonical sources consistently refer to the tribe as the Mirai. Their existence is threatened by a rift in the ocean, a gateway from which the life-exterminating darkness of the void seeks to emerge. This is her story. She literally swims down to the bottom of the ocean almost, and she finds the void. She's like, is this death? Such wonders. And it's a story about like her tribe once had a huge battle with the void in the past. Our attempts to control the waters around them did not repel the monsters, and countless died, so tons of our people were wiped out by the void in the past. For centuries, the Mirai have been protected by celestial moonstones. Their survival hinges on a ritual. Every 100 of years, a chosen tidecaller must retrieve an abyssal pearl from the void rift and trade it with a Targonian wanderer for a new moonstone. So someone goes down there, retrieves this moonstone, and they trade it with one of the Lunari in Targon. So the Lunari, that's like Diana and stuff. There's a couple Lunari champions. So the Lunari champions need this moonstone. Like this pearl, I'm sorry. They need this pearl. And so the Mirai will go down, grab the pearl, and then they'll trade it with one of the Lunari. So there's Diana as a Lunari, Aphelios as a Lunari. They'll trade it with them for a moonstone, and the moonstone helps them combat the void. So she's going down there, she retrieves the abyssal pearl. When the chosen Tidecaller failed to return, the young Nami took it upon herself to brave the abyss. So there was a Tidecaller sent down there, and she went down there after them because they never returned, and they were freaking out. The whole tribe's freaking out at this point. She succeeded in retrieving the abyssal pearl and saves her people from the abyssal darkness, for now. The last Uvikat, Nico. Nico's story is one of tragedy and optimism. She hails from the Uvikat, a lost tribe from a remote island whose bloodline was almost purely descended from the original Vastaya Shirei. That's why I was saying Nico also might be the most powerful Vastaya. They lived in harmony with the spirit realm, communicating through their spiritual essence, their Shuma, and this granted them unrivaled shapeshifting abilities. The existence was annihilated by a magical cataclysm. I think that was most likely the Rune Wars, leaving Nico as the sole survivor. Despite her loss, Nico's boundless curiosity has led her on a new quest to build a new tribe. This tribe will not be defined by bloodline, but by like-hearted souls. She welcomes anyone, human, Yordles, or Vastaya, who shares her dream of harmonious future. Nico represents a potential future for the Vastaya built on inclusivity rather than ancient lineage. So her kind of goal is to, be like unify in a way with the humans, with mortals. And I'm honestly like, she would just dilute her bloodline is what I think is going to happen. Sorry, but my internet isn't working properly at the moment. You're good. The Lost and the Half-Blooded Ari and Set. The narratives of Ari and Set explore themes of identity and belonging. Ari is the last known survivor of the Vasani, a tribe of nine-tailed fox-like Vastaya, wiped out by the Ruination. So there's a lot of Vastaya had a lot of problems. You have Nico, her tribe was wiped out, I think, by the Rune Wars. Then you have Ari, who her tribe really had a lot of problems with the Ruination. And we explore that in the Rune King when she goes to see them in literally a library temple on the Shadow Isles. With no memories of her people, she lived as a wild predator, consuming the life essence of the memories. With no memories of her people, she lived as a wild predator, consuming the life essence and memories of mortals. This power became an addiction, and she saw herself as a monster. A tragic romance with a mortal artist, whom she accidentally killed, set her on a path to discover her origins and control her abilities. And that's where Ari's story starts in Rune King.
100 years feels longer when you're alone.
You are more beautiful than any flower.
Please, leave me. My magic. I cannot control it.
I don't care. I am yours.
No. What am I? A monster.
Yeah, and that starts Ari's journey into Rune King. So she loved this painter guy and she just consumed him, consumes his memories and his life essence basically, and kills him. And so Ari wants to learn more about herself and her tribe and why she just did that. Ari's journey is a quest of redemption and self-discovery. Set, on the other hand, was born from a taboo union of an Ionian Vastaya and a Noxian human, making him an outcast. Ionians don't like Noxus. His mother's community expelled the family, and humans treated the half-beast child with contempt, especially after his pit fighter father abandoned him. Set channeled a lifetime of rage into the fighting pits, becoming an undefeated sensation. He eventually seized control of the entire operation, transforming it into a criminal underworld. Set's story is a powerful allegory for carving out a place of power by embracing the very identity that society tried to shame. A unifying theme emerges from all of these champions. The Vastaya are facing a species-wide crisis, a great dying. The Ovikat are destroyed, the Vasani are extinct, the Lotlan are fading, the Mirai are one failed ritual away from being consumed by the void. Official chronicle states no new Vastaya have been born in several mortal lifetimes, hundreds of years. This is an existential threat to their entire people. In this context, the champions become avatars for competing ideologies on how to save a dying race. Zaya's path is a violent rebellion. Nami's is desperate diplomacy. Nico's radical inclusivity. Wukong's is assimilation. Rengar chosen isolation, while Set opts to dominate the human system from within. The future of the Vastayan people really depends on which of these strategies proves successful. Beyond the known wilds, others, faces, and mistaken identities. While champions provide detailed portraits of Vastayan life, other members of the race exist, and the diversity of life on Runeterra has led to frequent misidentification. A new face in the City of Progress, Lest from Arcane. The series Arcane is foundational canon for the League of Legends universe and introduced a new Vastayan character, Lest, an associate of Counselor Mel, Medarda, and Piltover. You can see this is Lest in Arcane. Very cool character. A lot of people are a fan of Lest. I think she was a very cool model for sure. But we see a lot of her. She uses her big ears to overhear things going on in Piltover. And I think we see another scene of her. That's a really good shot right here. Yeah. So this is definitely a Vastaya. No questions about that. Less's heritage is evident in her large fox-like ears, which grant her superhuman hearing. She can easily overhear a whisper conversation from behind a locked door. Her presence is significant. It confirms that Vastaya are not confined to the wilds, but can integrate into the heart of human civilization. That's very, it's very interesting that she's literally in Piltover, the City of Progress. Not much nature there. But she maybe doesn't care about the reproduction and that portion of it, or her power. She really doesn't have any powers, honestly. It doesn't seem like it, at least in the show. Her main power is that she can hear very well. Defining the boundaries, what Vastaya is not. The mention of Tyrion from Arcane highlights a common confusion. Vastaya is not a catch-all for chimeric beings. It is a specific classification for a singular origin. So this character often gets confused. People say that, oh, that must be a Vastaya. That's a Tyrion. They're bat-like people from Zon. They are the original Zonites. Before humans were Zon, the Tyrians were there. They existed, and when the humans came down to Zon, they found the Tyrians. That's separate. So the key distinction is lineage. A being is only Vastaya if they can trace their ancestry to the Vastaya Shirei. This heritage grants them innate connection to spiritual magic. The Tyrian, a species of bat-like humanoids from Zon's deep caverns, do not share this origin. They are distinct, non-magical species that evolved separately from a seemingly native understanding of technology. The bat-like members of the Firelights and Arcane are Tyrians, not Lost Tribe of Vastaya. You can see some Tyrian images here. There's two species of Tyrians. There's these little guys and the big ones. They're like two separate groups of Tyrians, but they are both Tyrian. You can see another image. These are all Tyrian in Zon and Piltover. And he has no problem having children. That's another sign that he's not Vastayan, right? They're having children. Vastaya haven't had children in hundreds of years. I don't think they just discovered, like one guy just randomly popped out a kid all of a sudden. This principle applies to other races as well. Minotaurs such as Alistar are a separate and distinct people. Yordles, through magical and sometimes possessing animal-like features, are spirits from Bandle City. The term Vastaya is precise. It refers exclusively to the descendants of the Vastaya Shirei and their unions with humans. So these are not Vastaya. Minotaurs are separate. They're a separate species, just like Tyrian are a separate species. The future of the first children, the Vastaya, as a playable race. The rich lore surrounding the Vastaya provides a foundation for the implementation as a playable race in Runeterra-based MMO. Their diverse tribes and struggle for survival offer a compelling framework for player identity and class design. Now, I want to say this. Yordle, I think, will be playable. Humans will be playable. I think that it's definitely possible. I have a whole video on what's going to be playable and what isn't in the Riot MMO. I think if I had to pick three, it'd be human, Yordle, and Vastaya. And if they wanted to forego anything and then just do human, that's another option where you can only be a human. I think that's not great. I would like to see a little race variety. I think I have it here with my summary. We can just go down to the summary. Potential playable races. So I go through every single one. Vastaya, Yordles, I say, are likely. I say Trolls and Minotaurs and Cheerion, I think, are other good candidates, as well as the Augmented, and then I go through the Unlikely. I think I put a table at the end, didn't I? No. Well, yeah, I think those are like the playable races that will come. So character creation, choosing your bloodline. The tribal system is a perfect model for a sub-race selection process. A player would choose a Vastayan race and then a tribal lineage, determining their appearance and granting unique passive abilities. The Kalash, feline features bonus to stealth and tracking. Mirai, I don't think you'll be able to play a Mirai, but if they did have it where like somehow you have some kind of land walking legs, like you kind of Little Mermaid yourself in a way. You have aquatic features ability to breathe and move at full speed underwater. The Luchtline and avian and feline traits, a brief increase in movement speed. The Shimon are primate-like features, so enhanced agility, maybe a climbing ability. And the half Vastaya like Setch lineage have subtle bestial traits, maybe a passive tied to resilience or rage. The class identity, magic, might, and Mephisources. You can have like Vastaya support with a wide range of lore-rich class archetypes, many exclusive to specific tribes. So you have like the Tidecaller Mirai, which has a healing caster manipulating ability. The Battle Dancer, a mobile melee damage class weaving elegant movements with arcane strikes. The Pride Stalker, which is a stealth, very much roguelike. And then you could, I don't think you're going to have an Ovikot lineage only with the True Shapeshifter, but you could build a class around that. And finally, the player journey, a world of conflict. A Vastayan player's journey would be rooted in the core conflict of their people. Starting experience, the journey could begin in a tribal enclave, a Kalash hunting camp, or a Luchtland grove. Initially, quests would thrust the player into the Vastayan struggle, defending their home from human encroachment or purifying corrupted wild magic. The central narrative and the overarching racial storyline would be a fight for survival. Players would be tasked with finding a solution to the magical infertility crisis threatening their race. This would involve uniting tribes, forging alliances, and confronting the forces causing the world's magic to fade, providing a powerful motivation for the player's entire journey. Kind of want to play a Voidborn too. For Voidborn, I do say that those won't be playable. It's unlikely to play a Voidborn because they're alien creatures from a dimension of pure nothingness, driven by instinct to unmake and consume all of reality. Their fundamental nature makes them a poor fit for a player character. However, the existence of Kaisa, this character here, a human who survived by bonding with a Void symbiote, opens a slim, speculative path. A future Void-themed expansion could potentially introduce a highly specialized Void-touched race or class, but this remains a distant possibility, not a launch consideration. So what I'm saying here is that the Void, so you have the Watchers up here. There's two places where the Void kind of exists. You have the Watchers in the Freljord, which are the huge eye-looking guys. They're at the bottom, underneath Frostguard Citadel and the Howling Abyss. And then you have a second group, which are down here and have to do with Belvith and Acathia and the Lavender Sea and whatnot. So we have Void creatures. Kha'Zix, I think, is in here. Yeah. Like this would be an example of Voidborn. These I don't think are going to be playable. One, because they're very singular-minded. Vel'Koz is in here as well. He's loyal to the Watchers. I think he just got introduced, right? Yeah. Vel'Koz. Like, I don't think these characters are going to be playable just because, one, their models are crazy, and two, they're not really going to be on our side. They're going to be against us. They're allied with the Void. In Vel'Koz's case, he's allied with the Watchers, who are all the way up here. He's kind of their eyes and ears in Runeterra, trying to find weaknesses to exploit. The way that you can play a Void-themed class would be if you play a character like Kaisa. Where is she? There she is. Kaisa. Kaisa fused with a Voidborn, and now she has like Void-themed abilities. But I don't think that'll come until the Acathia expansion, which I don't think is going to come at launch because there's so much to explore here. And I think what's going to happen is we're probably going to get Demacia, Noxus, Shurima, maybe like Piltover with the first level of Zaun, nothing deeper than that, and Bilgewater will be the launch map. Because then you'll feel the whole world and you'll be able to see everything without actually exploring it. Acathia, in terms of Shurima, isn't even on the map. They literally erased it from history because the Void is kind of stagnated there, and if it has any material, if it gets any like material, like human material, life material, whatever, it'll consume it and then reactivate and start consuming the rest of the world. So that's the problem right now with the Void. And I don't think we're going to explore this at launch just because it deserves an expansion. There's so much here. Salt of the Earth. One of the few known ways to combat the Void is to starve it. With no organic or magical sustenance nearby, the Void's material growth will slow until it eventually falls into a dormant state. And that's what we have right now with Acacia. And so they literally took it off the map. So I don't know if you would play a Voidborn. Imagine at the end of the season they give the highest level player access to Aurelian power and you can wipe out the progress of the players of an entire server. Lamau, jeez, Aurelian Soul. I hope we honestly never see Aurelian Soul. Like not we never see him, but like we never... Aurelian Soul is too much of a god level being for us to ever... We'd definitely never fight Aurelian Soul. I think that... I just hope that we'll never like... We should never beat Aurelian Soul. We should need him on our side. I think we're going to need him to fight the Void, like his boon, right? He's the only one that ever really stared into the abyss and, you know, was able to damage and threaten the Watchers in a way, at least in our realm. In the material realm, Aurelian Soul is more powerful than the Watchers. And he's the only one that can really rival them. So I think we're going to need his help. I don't think we'll ever fight Aurelian Soul. He's too big. Korean manhwa type shit. Yep. That's the lore, guys. So today we went through the Vastaya, what they are. We went over the new ARPG. Now you know what Vastaya are. You know what they're all about. You know their lore, their history, what makes a Vastaya, why certain characters are and are not Vastaya. And now I think it's time that we get into a little bit of old school RuneScape. We can go over here for the Let's Play. All right, let me see this. We have to go to right here. Let it load. There it is. And then I need to change. Let's make sure this. Where is it? Okay. Oh, I need, where's my, you guys can't hear it right now. Okay. What happened? Why is this? Where am I? Welcome to Old School RuneScape. You last logged in 23 hours, 20 minutes ago. Welcome to Gildenor. Your adventure awaits. This week, update, oh, is like an update page. Okay. So, where was I? Where's my character? Where am I? Okay. I know we had like that, we could fight him but not defeat him. We would escape, for example, like a 30-man raid. He's way too big, guys. He's way too big. Like, you gotta remember, Aurelian Soul is freaking massive, okay? We're talking like a god level being. You're not gonna touch his freaking finger. Aurelian Soul. Yeah, Aurelian Soul cinematic. Look at finality, guys. Look at finality. This is the guy you're saying we're gonna fight. He's made of stars. He created the freaking star. A star is like the tip of his finger. The sun is on the tip of his finger. This guy created the freaking cosmos. Like the way he's shown in game is smaller because he has to fit in League of Legends. But you're not gonna ride on this guy's back. We're not dealing with Deathwing. Aurelian Soul is, and keep in mind he's wearing a crown at this point, which is pushing him away from Runeterra. We're talking millions of miles away. And this guy's stars traveling. And what you're seeing here, flecks of gold falling from his crown. Because if his crown is ever destroyed, ever weakens to the point where he can get close to Runeterra, he'll destroy it. Because he's so... Right now, in the current lore, he hates Runeterra because we helped the aspects, unknown to us, we helped the aspects put this crown on his head and entrap him. And keep in mind, he is so far away from actually Runeterra, but look how massive he is. This guy is too big, too cosmic level. I hate what they did with the Titans in World of Warcraft. I think it made them feel smaller and less impactful in the lore, and not as the cosmic level beings they should be. So I don't even want to fight Aurelion Sol. I honestly don't like the whole putting a crown on Aurelion Sol's head to control him, when he is literally holding the sun at his fingertips. In one cinematic, the storyline should keep him as something that exists, but we never see. Yeah, I mean, the crown, he was tricked into putting on the crown by the aspects. So it was etched with the inscrutable patterns of Celestial Realm, and Aurelion Sol does have an ego. So he thought it was a gift for him, and he came down, and the aspects, you know, like Pantheon had the aspect of war in him. We're talking about like the Golden and Silver Sister, like these characters, the Golden and Silver Sister. So the people that tricked him into putting on the crown were pretty powerful themselves. It's not like the actual Targonians tricked him, even though that's the way it's portrayed in the story. That's because the Targonians didn't even know, I think. That they didn't understand the inscrutable patterns of Celestial Realm. The aspects did, and it really benefited the aspects to entrap him. Well, Aurelion Sol wants revenge against Runeterra. Yeah, he does, because the whole gifting thing. Targonians climbed to the peak of Mount Targon and gifted Aurelion Sol a crown as a thank you for the sun that he created for him. He thought it was just a gift. He should have realized, like, this is a fledgling civilization. They probably don't know the Celestial Realm and the stars and all this stuff. And the crown was etched with the inscrutable patterns, and so it entrapping him, you know, he should have been a little bit more forethinking about it. By the way, how do you think? What is going? This guy's chopping trees next to me. By the way, how do you think they managed to make a crown trillions of times heavier than the whole planet on his head? Yeah, that's why the Targonians did not make this crown. It's a magical crown that grew when he put it on. It's like the Targonians took it up. He took the crown and then it expanded, and then he put it on his head. It wasn't like they built it because it's the size of freaking Runeterra. Bigger, way bigger. It seems like he will figure out one day and beyond. Exactly. That's what I think is going to happen. He'll figure out one day, and I think the aspects are bad. I think that we're going to realize that these are bad, the aspects, and we'll eventually go against them. And I think Diana, Leona, Pantheon realizes it. He like killed the aspect of war by getting stabbed by Aatrox. Taric is another aspectual host. Zoe is an aspectual host. Some Pantheon voice lines talk about the aspects. Pantheon voice lines. Think of Legends. Look at this voice line.
I have faced many self-proclaimed gods. The worst wears the face of a child.
Yeah, so he's talking about the aspectual hosts, the aspects. He's saying the worst wears the face of a child. He's talking about Zoe and wearing the face of a child. I think that there's a darker secret to become with the aspectual hosts like Diana, Leona, Taric, Zoe, how much control they actually have and how much the aspect will is enforced upon them. So yeah, we're gonna definitely look into that, and I think Aurelion Sol will eventually be on our side. It seems like, yeah. Okay, that makes sense, because I can't picture mortal Targonians even coming into contact with Aurelion Sol. Yeah, they didn't. Infinite money glitch, bruh, multiplied gold. Infinite money glitch, multiplied gold. Yeah, oh yeah, from the crown. Yeah, I agree. They should have used it to get gold. Instead, they used it to entrap a god that now wants us destroyed. This is the wrong move. Get over here. Let's kill something real quick. Oh yeah, I have to use these. Where's my, like... I want to try a magical ability on one of these guys. I know I needed to get reach level 5 in attack skill. That's what I had to do. I have to reach level 5 in attack skill, and I think I can see... Where's my attack skill? I remember seeing it here. Yeah, I'm 4 right now. So let's try to get to 5. Let's try to really complete this adventure path thing. And I just learned how to change my game. So I think tomorrow, because it's not really related to old school. I was putting ourselves in old school RuneScape at the start of the stream, just because I have no idea how to. I had no idea how to switch the actual like game mode, right? I didn't know how to switch it. And like right now we're streaming under old school RuneScape for the entire lore stream, but it's not really related to old school RuneScape. And now I just figured out with this little pencil icon I just clicked randomly in Streamlabs that I can change the game. And so tomorrow I think we'll start stream under League of Legends when I go through like the Riot MMO and lore and stuff because it's related to that, or maybe Legends of Runeterra. And then after that, we'll switch over to old school RuneScape. Get over here. Am I at 5? Oh, I'm at 5. I did it. Task complete. You just completed the task. Getting started with attack. Look at me. Reach level 5 in strength. Where's strength? Strength. View strength guide. Okay. Oh, we can do this. I'm doing it. Okay. Let's see. I'm figuring this out. I recommend you guys all read Pantheon lore. Yeah, I have a great video on Pantheon lore. If you like Pantheon lore, you should check out, where is it? Videos. Well, obviously if you like Aurelian Soul, I have like a video on him too. What is a Yordle that? Okay, Pantheon hates gods. Yeah, definitely check this out for Pantheon lore. Pantheon hates gods, that's a great one. And then if you like Aurelian Soul and you feel like you want to learn more about him, I'd recommend this one, the most powerful character in Runeterra. And these videos each took me like a month to make. These aren't like, you know, regular talks, which I want to do another one of those again, but I just haven't had time, just because of work and stuff. Yeah. Definitely check those out if you're interested in like Pantheon lore, Aurelian Soul lore. Watcher of Realms, that I have a video on Lysandra if you want to learn about the Watchers. How Lysandra doomed Runeterra. I'll read the Pantheon lore. It's, in my opinion, the most sad and tragic story in Runeterra. I agree. Watcher of Realms. I think Pantheon and then Zillion is a very sad story. Watcher of Realms, I think what was Bard and Soraka, but I don't remember Aurelian Soul. Yeah, definitely check out my video on Ace on Aurelian. I think I remember him coming down specifically because he wanted to be worshipped in some piece of lore. I either read or heard somewhere. Yeah, so the aspects encouraged him. The other aspects, like the Golden and Silver Sister, encouraged him to come down and like meet the people of Runeterra. He didn't even realize Runeterra was there at the time. And they were like, oh, come see this fledgling civilization. And he was like intrigued by them, that this civilization formed around a star that he created. And so he came down, they were like, oh, they want to worship you and talk to you. And he was like flattered by the mortals. Then the aspects commanded the mortals to create an offering for Aurelian Soul. And so they brought him the crown. I don't think it was the mortals, I think it was the aspects that gave the mortals the crown and said, oh yeah, gift this to Aurelian Soul, he'll really like it. Because the crown was etched with the inscrutable patterns of the celestial realm, and the mortals were freaking a fledgling civilization that didn't know anything. So that doesn't make any sense that they were able to create a crown that entrapped Aurelian Soul when this was like the early years of mortals on Runeterra. And right after that, he was entrapped by the crown, hurled him back from Runeterra, and then the aspects had him do their bidding. Like go off on different worlds, do whatever they wanted, and even like destroy a void rift at one point. So the aspects are stupid, and it was definitely them that entrapped Aurelian Soul. But yeah, that's what happened. The aspects literally called him over to Runeterra and said, hey, come look at this. Maybe it was interpretation. No, that's that. Everything I just told you, 100% canon. That's exactly what happened. Or interpretation from my part. Nope, you got it right. You got it right. I remember this too, so it's not just you, but I'm not sure if it's still canon. I hope not. No, well, what I said was canon, but you have to realize like exactly what it's saying, which is that they're a fledgling civilization the aspects encouraged him to come over, and the aspects told the mortals to give him a gift. So the aspects are kind of pulling the strings there. It's not just the mortals. Yeah, if you realize that, then it's the aspects that tricked Aurelian Soul, not the mortals. Your strength level determines your max hit in combat. Whenever you hit your opponent, you will deal a random amount of damage up to your max hit. Most weapons have strength bonus that will also increase your max hit. You can view strength bonus and all your equipment stats by selecting view equipment stats under the worn equipment side panel. But how do I increase my strength? You know? Strength experience 4. I have to get this to 5. Reach level 5 in strength skill. Oh, okay. Train your strength level 5 by fighting nearby monsters. Equip armor and weapons. Ensure your combat style is set to provide strength. Oh. Aggressive stab. This gives me attack XP. Slash and lunge give me strength XP. Aggressive stab, aggressive slash. Let's just do slash for a little bit. Let's slash this guy. Where are my magical abilities? Magic. I don't think I have. Oh, I need like some sun runes. Lumbridge home teleport. So that's a teleport. Oh, okay, I'll take that. Okay, we have to get up to 5 in strength. I remember this too. It's not just you. I think it's pretty fun that basically the creator of the universe saw monkeys on a planet that worshipped his shape in the sky and decided to pay them a visit to stroke his own ego even more. Aurelian Soul definitely does have an ego, but he looked at the people of Runeterra and was intrigued by them because they were like a civilization that he didn't do anything to encourage their growth. Like Runeterra was created by itself. He created the sun, and then somehow like this fledgling civilization just formed out of nowhere. That's why we interested him. And I think Runeterra has a lot to do with as like that spirit realm that we talked about with Runeterra. There's a lot more to do with that, and that was what makes Runeterra special. Runeterra, the world, is just the world, material realm. But the spirit realm and the way Runeterra kind of seems to have a physiological reaction to it. Congratulations, you've advanced to strength level 2. Guys, I'm doing this. I'm doing great. Runeterra seems to have a physiological reaction to a lot of things. You look at Syndra in Ionia. Like the planet of Runeterra literally encapsulated her in vines to try and stop her from doing anything crazy because she was already like kind of causing problems in Ionia because of her magic. And so the world of Runeterra in a sense kind of put her to sleep. So the world of Runeterra almost seems like it's alive. I don't want to say World Soul because that's World of Warcraft, but Runeterra definitely seems to have some kind of presence that's more than what we realize. And Bard in his lore came to Runeterra because it was something different in the cosmos. It was unique, and it had its own song, its own music. That's how he describes it. And he knows that the Watchers found their way into the material world through Runeterra, through Lysandra. And I think he realizes that as well. So, Runeterra is a pretty special world. Maybe it's like, LOL, he accidentally created it by creating the sun. Bard discovers Runeterra before Aurelian Soul, I think. I'm not sure if it's before or after. I mean, we know Aurelian Soul definitely created the sun. Then Runeterra formed. Then I don't know if it's before or after, because Bard comes and well, no, I think Bard comes. He does come to Ionia first. That's where he goes. But then people are already in the Freljord too. I'm trying to think of timeline. If Bard comes and discovers Runeterra before or after Aurelian Soul is tricked and put on the crown. I'm not sure canonically if I can like determine that. Oh, I gotta bury these bones so I can pick up some stuff. Maybe it's like our universe, the stars. Maybe it's like our universe. The stars produce the atoms that ended up becoming planets and life. Yeah, I mean, no life without the sun, that's for sure. Let me bury all these bones, right? Doesn't that give me, like, good stuff if I bury them? Let's bury all these bones so I can keep picking up. Am I getting anything from burying these bones? Is it worth it for me to be doing this, guys? Oh, I got something. Prayer or something like that went up. Maybe it is worth it for me to be burying all these bones. I got something from it. What's that? Would I just get a hammer? Okay. Look at all these arrows over here. I'd like some arrows. Nice. Wow, where are all these arrows coming from? Don't I want these? Who's dropping these arrows all over the place? I feel like arrows would be pretty useful. And the freaking magic stone. It levels your prayer stat? Okay, so I should definitely just be burying all these bones. Where's prayer? Prayer options. Thick skin. Activate level 1 skin thick. Increase your defense by 5%. Drain 1 point per 36 seconds. So how long does that last? Let's just try it. I'm using it right now, I think. I think I'm using it. Yeah, activate it or deactivate it. But like, where do I see it? Like the time on it or something. Like how do I know, right? Like I'm guessing I activate a couple of these prayers, which is honestly a really cool system. But how do I know? Like, does that mean I can activate 2? I'm kind of confused on the prayer system, if I'm being real. I like it. It seems really cool. I just don't understand it. The other player is using the bow and arrows. If he doesn't pick them up after a certain amount of time, you'll see them. Oh, okay. So he's shooting these arrows and then he can pick them up himself. What is that? Do you guys see that armor? Hold on. What I just get? I just got something. I think I leveled up my strength again. Look at this. Wear goblin armor. Oh, I got 2 of them. And a brass necklace. How do I equip this stuff again? How do I see like my, you know what I'm talking about? My character. I was able to drag this stuff in. I can see that there. I'm sure I can just double click it or something. No? How do I equip this stuff again? I don't remember. I don't remember how to equip it. I remember him listening. Levels up prayer stats that other players using. Okay, I got that, but I don't know how to equip. I want to equip this stuff. View equipment stats. Okay, view equipment stats. There we go. So now I can drag this in, or double click it. Nice. And this, I can't equip that. Goblin mail? Why not? Equip goblin mail. Examine goblin mail? Huh. I don't know why I can't equip that. What's my stats at? I'm at 3 strength. I gotta get to 5. I remember him listening to Meeps. Yeah, he does. Nice. I think I got to level 3 now. 4. Okay, 1 more. I remember him listening to Meeps and tracing them to Runeterra and tracing them to where he found life. Aurelian Soul had created the sun and dipped, I think, Lamau. Yeah, so Aurelian Soul created the sun. And then I just don't know if Aurelian Soul came back and was gifted the crown, or Bard sees and finds Runeterra. I think that Aurelian Soul, I don't know. It's either one. Either Bard came and saw Runeterra first, or Aurelian Soul was tricked and put on the crown first. One or the other. But they both happened a long time ago. I remember him. You can activate multiple player effects at the same time, but they drain your prayer points. The more you have active, right? Now you have 2 of 2 points. You have to pray at an altar to recharge them. Once it hits 0. They provide decent combat boosts, but they're more like turbo when you need them. Oh, okay, so I should turn this off. Where? Oh, it's gone. Okay. Okay, I think I get that now. That makes sense. I should definitely keep burying these bones. But why can't I equip the goblin mail? I feel like you know what you're talking about with this game, Turi, but I just don't know. I still don't know how I equip my cup. I can drink beer. That's good. Nice. That should help. Am I at 5 strength yet? This game was so ahead of its time, so many cool features. Exactly. That's why I want to play it, is because I want to look at the cool features and then think about what should and shouldn't be. Basically we're gonna play a little bit of all these different kinds of MMOs. We're starting with old school RuneScape. We're gonna play Albion Online, all these different MMOs. I'm gonna think about what way could the Riot MMO take from this game. Like what's good and what's bad. I already said I really don't like the bond system, where like you can buy gold. That reminds me of the World of Warcraft WoW token. But then this prayer system I think is really cool, where like you have these buffs and you can pray to refill this, and you get better with prayers or whatever, and they make you stronger. That seems like a really cool class effect. If you had a class that has this prayer effect where you can pray and have all these different options here, I think that's really cool. To bear all these bones. I need to move stuff around so I'm not like all the bones are popping up everywhere. Like I'm probably gonna keep my beer glass, probably keep my money, this, keep my arrows. I just don't understand why I can't be equipping this. Worn equipment. Where is this? I click that, but it won't let me equip my goblin mail. Maybe you can't. Maybe it's not like equipable. Reach level 5 strength, almost there. But so far the game is honestly a very chill game. I like it. Am I gonna die? There we go. Reach level 5 in defense skill now. I haven't played this in 14 years, but it's like riding a bike. I spent so many hours on this as a kid. Try right-clicking the armor. It says players can't wear goblin mail. Oh, okay. Let me see. Inventory. First I gotta open this up. Wait. Equip. Where does it say players can't wear goblin mail? Price of goblin mail, GE. Some brown armor designed to fit goblins. The armor is too small for a human. Oh, I was missing all this because I wasn't seeing like... Oh, I was missing a lot. Equip goblin mail and it says... Yeah, okay. Now I see. Thank you. Oh wait, I need to switch this. I need defense. Block. We need to level up our defense here. Where is defense? Attack, hit points, mining, defense. I should probably eat something pretty soon. In game, not in real life. In real life, I only have coffee for breakfast. That's it. Oh, some gold. I want my gold. I need to change this camera. There we go. Oh, I googled it. Oh, well that worked too, but this also works. It just kind of told me in this chat here, in the bottom left. After I clicked all, I could see it. I'm only at 1 defense. These guys are taking forever to kill now because I'm not really attacking. But that's how I get up my defense. It says defense experience. And I need to get this up to level 5. I feel like it's going up very slow though, this one. But I can complete in any order, right? I can do something else. One or the other. What about these spiders? Let's try to kill one of these spiders. One of these spooters over here. Level 2 plus. Oh shoot. Am I gonna die? Okay, defense up 1. Okay, no, we're good, we're good. We'll definitely kill this guy, but I need to eat. Oh my gosh. Don't you die. Okay, I need to kill this guy now. Come on. Come on. Okay. Do I have anything to eat? I don't. Am I supposed to be able to like fish or something? Like I see a pond over here. Let's bury these bones really quick. But I don't see my fishing net anymore. I don't see my fishing net anymore. I would need to chop down wood. And I think I need an axe for that. Wood cutting to start making canoes. You must at least be level 12 wood cutting. Oh, what the heck? You can make a canoe? Gee, oh, shoot. I did not mean to hit that guy. I might have to just do some actual damage here. But I'm worried if I take it off defense, I'm going to get hit and die. Come on. Okay. Let's not do that again. I need to heal. Alright. You need to have an axe to chop down this tree. You don't have an axe, which you have the wood cutting level to use. You do not have an axe, which you have the wood cutting. So I need an axe too. I'll take this hammer. Okay, let's go back a little bit to the city and see, because I need to like fish, I need to do stuff. And I don't have any of the tools that I need to do it. And I think I might have put this stuff, like my fishing net, in the bank. Remember there being a bank up here. All the way up. Climb up the stairs. Oh, nice, some wood too. That's good for, what's it called? Right, so now I have that. To start a fire, but I need my fishing net. Was that the bank? That wasn't the bank. I thought that was the king over here. Oh, that is the bank. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. See, my fishing net I need. I want these fish. I'll cook them really quick. I guess I'll leave that. Oh, I got some bread. I'll eat that. You can deposit this freaking beer glass. I don't need it. I want to sell the goblin hammer. Is there a way to like auto clean? You know, like auto organize? Rearrangement, swap, insert item. And create tabs. Show menu. Okay, that's fine for now. Let's go cook. Oh, here's a fire too. Easy. Inventory. Use raw trout. How do I cook it? This person's making a lot of fires. Use raw trout, raw trout. Drop, examine. I should try cooking this. I know, I agree. Maybe I have to create the fire. I can't just use someone else's fire. Okay. It's lit. Now cook it. Cook the trout. Yeah, I don't really know why this isn't cooking. Use raw trout. Oh, okay. Wait. Did that work? Use raw trout. You need a cooking level 15 to cook trout. Damn. I guess I'll just eat this bread. I need to like fish myself. Climb down the stairs. Where can I sell? I want to sell all this stuff. Who do I sell this stuff to? I need a map. Let me look at the map really quick. See if there's anyone I can sell to. Danger tutor. Cooking range. Some quests. Bank. Clue tutor. Pub. Maybe the pub I can sell it at. General store. Okay, let's go to the general store and see if we can't sell some stuff over there. Oh, that's inside the castle. I gotta go out. Seems like a kind of place where you can sell something. Okay, where you at? Oh. Talk to shopkeeper. Can I help you? Yes, please. What are you selling? Okay, I see what you're selling. Can I sell you anything? Sell 50 raw trout. Sell as many raw trout as I have. Okay. Where's my gold? There's 134 gold. How much gold am I getting for this? I'm getting a little bit of gold. Value hammer, value hammer. I don't have an axe anymore. Does he have an axe? Maybe I can create an axe. Security book? I wonder if I sell these to the vendor, do other people see this stuff? Let's sell these logs. Sell the arrows too. I'm not really using arrows right now. We'll sell one hammer so we can have the other one. And I want that. And I want those. Okay. That's good. That's better. We'll put that up there. The net as well. Okay. That feels better. Now, let's go work on our defense. Can I just fish over here? If I just walk to the water, I forgot how to do it. Let's see. I just walk to the water. Walk to the water. Use small fishing net. Okay, maybe they'll bring up fishing again later. Let's go get our defense up. Oh, here's a guy. Skills 2. How do I PM someone if they aren't dead? When did this game come out? Original RuneScape release date. 2001. When did Toontown come out? Original Toontown release date. Toontown came out in 2003. I feel like Toontown is another game that really changed up the genre. I think RuneScape, Toontown. I know EverQuest was really big. It was just the fact that you could play with people. I think online, this was like the birth of the internet. Probably being able to like just talk and interact with people in the real world, in a world like this, was probably crazy. But the game does have some cool stuff. I wonder if the Riot MMO will go with a classless system or a class-based system. There are pros and cons to each other. This is a classless system where you kind of, if you want to be a mage, well, equip a staff and put on a robe and you're a mage. If you want to be a warrior, well, put a sword and shield on or a one-handed weapon. something like that, and then all of a sudden you're a warrior. You know, and you can be good at both. Have your character, I think at least, doesn't seem like you're limited. You can do both. So this is a class list system, but I kind of like the class system more. I feel like the class system like has a lot of value on that choice. And then with a class system, you can really define out, you know, roles and stuff. But I suppose you can too. Like you still have a tank, healer, damage dealer in this game. I bet you if you do like big raids, I don't know if there's like raids and dungeons in it. There was original RuneScape Classic in 2001, but it looks different to the old school one you're playing now. This version came out in 2004. I wonder how the original one looked. Oh, whoa. Okay, you guys can't see that, but this is what I'm looking at. This is how the original one looked. Is this it? This is how it like originally looked? Because this looks way better. This looks like... I mean, it doesn't look... It looks like 2001, I guess. Wow. Yeah, it definitely made some improvements with old school RuneScape for sure. That's the one. Warts and all, yeah. I'm sure there's some people that literally wanted that exact version then. Oh, it's 8:59. Damn, okay. Well, I'll kill this guy, then I gotta go. We're at 4. Okay, well next time we'll get to 5. I gotta drop, I got work at 9 o'clock. Man, I'm really liking old school RuneScape so far. I'll say that. It's like, in terms of like, I mean, I hope it's not, the combat isn't like this, right? But the way the combat is, it's not bad. It's pretty chill. I wouldn't want to see the Riot MMO combat style like this, and I don't think we're going to get that. It's definitely going to be action combat, but for like a random MMORPG, I'm just trying for the first time. No, we're going to play it. We're going to play it. Alright, guys. I do have to drop. You know, much love. I think this stream was awesome. I love talking to you guys about the Vastaya. I love talking about the ARPG, the new Riot Games ARPG that's gonna be coming out sometime soon that they're working on in China. You know, thanks for everyone who showed up. Thank Como, Turi, Asteron, yeah, Om3. You guys are all great. Joanna, Red Eye. Seriously, it's been an awesome stream. I love doing these streams. I've been having like a ton of fun doing them and talking to you guys about the lore live. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by the Grove, and I'll see you in the next one.